January 30th, 1835, an unforgettable day in American history. Let's travel back in time to this pivotal day, a day marked by the first assassination attempt on a U.S. president. Picture it. The air is thick with anticipation and the political climate heated. The nation's leader, President Andrew Jackson, is a man of controversy. His policies and strong personality have caused ripples across the nation, resulting in an atmosphere of tension and uncertainty. His supporters see him as a champion of the common man, while his detractors view him as a dangerous populist. This is the backdrop against which we find our story unfolding. A day that began like any other, with the rising of the sun and the hustle and bustle of daily life. But as the day wore on, it would veer off its predictable course, heading towards a shockingly perilous twist. A day that started like any other, but would soon take a surprisingly dangerous turn. As the day progressed, an unassuming figure in the crowd would soon make his mark. This figure was Richard Lawrence, a house painter by trade, but today he had a different task in mind. In his pocket, he carried 2 pistols, both loaded and primed. His target? None other than President Andrew Jackson himself. As President Jackson exited the U.S. Capitol following a congressional funeral, Lawrence stepped from the crowd, his intentions clear. He raised his first pistol, pointed it at the president, and squeezed the trigger. But instead of the expected report, there was only a click. The gun had misfired. Undeterred, Lawrence drew his second pistol, aiming once again at Jackson. He pulled the trigger, but again, only silence. Both pistols, despite being in perfect working order, failed to discharge. Now you might expect that President Jackson, faced with an assassination attempt, would seek cover or call for help. But that's not what happened. Instead, he charged at Lawrence, brandishing his cane. Yes, you heard that right. The President of the United States, the target of an assassination attempt, was now on the offensive. He swung his cane with all his might, striking Lawrence and sending him sprawling. The crowd, which had been paralyzed with shock, sprang into action. They quickly subdued Lawrence, while others rushed to the president's side, but Jackson was unharmed, his only response to the attack a surge of anger and a determination not to be intimidated. In a twist of fate, the attack on Jackson's life had failed, but the impact of this event was only beginning. For the first time in U.S. history, a sitting president had been the target of an assassination attempt. The echoes of this event would reverberate through time, forever changing the way we think about the safety and security of our nation's leaders. So, what came after this unprecedented attempt on a president's life? Following the failed assassination plot, Richard Lawrence, the would-be assassin, was swiftly apprehended and put on trial. Despite his clear intent, Lawrence was found not guilty by reason of insanity. President Jackson, on the other hand, remained staunch and unflinching in the face of danger. His courage and resilience became a beacon of fortitude for future presidents. This shocking incident marked the dawn of a new era, prompting increased security measures for the president. From then on, the safety of the nation's figurehead became a top priority. This event also set a chilling precedent for future assassination attempts on U.S. presidents, reminding everyone that even the highest office is not immune to such threats. And so, we remember January 30th, 1835, not for the violence that was meant to transpire, but for the resilience of the American presidency and the beginning of a new era in presidential security.